For a great cup of joe, there's one thing you should know. Your morning brew can also be playful. Buff Boy Brewing guys make the temperature rise. And you surely feel naughty when you swallow our coffee. If you want some real heat, give your mouth a fine treat. You will want some more, rest assured. Buff Boy Brewing, you can't get enough of.
It's time for The Scribble, your weekly fix of celebrity chats, bizarre stories in the news, and basic random chatter with best-selling author and syndicated radio host Jeremy Bradley. Make sure your seat is in the upright and locked position and your barf bag is securely in place. Here's Jeremy Bradley.
Thank you very much, Larson. Jeremy Bradley here. This is The Scribble. Thank you so much for tuning in on your favorite podcast app. Oh, it's all about the entertainment news this week because another racist Big Brother contestant caused a controversy for the hit CBS reality show, and we were supposed to have Julie Chen on the show with us today, but CBS canceled. Coincidental timing? I'll tell you about that coming up in just a little bit. And also, Wayne Brady made headlines somehow as coming out as pansexual. Is it necessary to take out a story in People magazine about Wayne Brady liking anything that has a pulse? That's his definition of pansexual. We'll get to that also. And Billy Porter is pleading poverty in light of the Hollywood strikes. You know, the fanglamulous Billy Porter who does red carpets and, has all these fabulous photos from his wonderful lifestyle. Well, apparently he can't afford his house now, thanks to the writer's strike. And is that on the industry? Is that on him? I've got my thoughts. I'll tell you about those as well. It's all coming up on The Scribble, and it starts right after this.
This statement has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secret to losing 3 to 5 pounds a week without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt RX. For the last 2 decades, we've helped countless people lose thousands of pounds. And now, it's your turn. Learn how to lose weight with one simple phone call and no prescription needed. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a risk-free money-back guarantee. So, if you're ready to start losing weight, call right now and get a free month supply with your first order of Body Sculpt RX. Call now. You have nothing to lose but the pounds. 800-459-6838. 800-459-6838. 800-459-6838. That's 800-459-6838.
Jeremy Bradley here, back on The Scribble. Now, this is the segment. I'm going to give you some behind-the-scenes information here because, and this is where, on the radio, I wouldn't be able to do this kind of a thing. But the podcast, so screw it, I'm going to do it. We had 7 minutes scheduled for Julie Chen, or Julie Chen Moonves, as she's now known, from Big Brother. You know her, the host of the longtime CBS reality competition show. Julie was supposed to tape a chat with us Thursday morning at 7 o'clock Pacific. And about 12 hours before that, CBS emailed and canceled our interview. Now, you might have heard or seen trending on social media that a contestant, Luke Valentine, used the N-word while talking with house guests. And, he tried to sort of cover for what he said, but as you know, the damage is done, especially in the Big Brother house, right? Everything is caught on camera and microphones 24/7. So Big Brother has been criticized for allowing racist talk and questionable antics to remain on the show in the house in the past. And now CBS has gone and kicked out Luke Valentine, saying that Luke violated the Big Brother Code of Conduct and there is zero tolerance in the house for using a racial slur. He has been removed from the house. So, Julie was slated to... Now, I should point out that this chat with Julie Chen, we had arranged this, it was in July, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They had pinpointed August 10th as being, it's called a media tour. She was going to be doing a press blitz that morning. And so this was something that was in the works. Now, not uncommon, me being let me just give some background here. As an entertainment reporter, entertainment host, correspondent, celebrity interviewer, whatever you want to say, I've been doing this for a very long time. We have had interviews canceled at the last minute. Obviously, something comes up, right? It's life. We get it. So this, you could say this was coincidental timing, that they go and we've had this scheduled for weeks, and then all of a sudden, the scandal hits. Now, me knowing the PR side of things as well, I can see CBS going and saying, whoa, we've got to lay low right now. Now, CBS and producers arguably made the right call, right? If this is somebody who's hate-filled or whatever, and again, he used the word, whether it was, I'm not justifying, let me be clear on this one as well, I'm not justifying his use of the word, I'm just saying, if it was a slip of the tongue or whatever, I personally wouldn't have that as a slip of the tongue, that's just me. So, the show's been criticized for many years about racism. It would make sense to not put Julie in the firing range, the day after. Now, it was said that TMZ reported on, I guess it was Wednesday, that the Luke eviction or termination, however you call it, would be addressed on the Thursday night show, which was then, going to be the first live eviction of the season. Well, clearly, the first live eviction was scandalous and outrageous. So Luke Valentine getting the boot from Big Brother, Julie Chen, who was supposed to be on this episode of the podcast and was supposed to be on the radio with me Thursday morning, has not happened. Now, the email from CBS, I had it on my phone screen, but it went off because I was talking to you. The email from the CBS publicist says, will be rescheduled for a later date. We will be in touch in the coming weeks with new avails. We appreciate your understanding. So that's the publicist. So it'll be interesting to see. Now, like I said, they will lay low for a little while, right? Let the dust settle, and then potentially they will parade Julie around doing the media circuit as she has before. Julie was on the show with me probably about, I think it was my 34th birthday, so 7 years ago now, 7 years, when she was a surprise guest. She was still on the talk, and it was quite fun to have her on. She was a surprise guest. She voted me off. She evicted me from my own show, and then we had a great chat. So looking forward to Julie Chen Moonves, and she, by the way, called herself the Chen Bot on that interview, so that's fair game for me to call her Chen Bot, and it's not an insult, right? Because she said it's Julie Chen, the Chen Bot. So I look forward to chatting with you again, Julie. We had some great laughs, and Big Brother is one of those reality shows that's been on. This is the 25th season, so 20 some years, right? Because they double up some years, right? You have more than one season in a year, so 20 some years. It's sort of like Survivor, where you think that it's either getting old or that the ratings are slipping, but it's still a major performer. So Julie knows, and CBS knows, that she's welcome to come on anytime. I'm not calling out Julie. I want to make that clear. I think maybe I started out the segment by almost like I was thrashing them. I totally get it. Like I said, from the PR perspective, it makes sense to keep her hidden now. Don't bring her out, right? We want this to die down. We don't want her to be asked a million questions about racism, because that's just going to draw more attention to it. And I can imagine the producers and the network are kind of like, we get rid of this guy, we forget about it, we move on with the rest of the season, right? Big Brother's only in the first week of the season. This is not, it just premiered on August 2nd, so we're literally now a week, and a bit into the season 25 launch. And the week before that, they did this big, it's the silver anniversary of the show, and then your first couple of days, well, we've got an N-word eviction, so there you go. But do you watch Big Brother? Is it one of those shows that is sort of appointment viewing? I know now with the streaming or whatever, people will watch it. I will often see, because I chat with the hosts or whoever from the show, like I have to kind of keep up to date. But Big Brother Canada, we've banished them from our platforms just because they fucked us. They screwed around a couple years ago. And should I tell that story? What do I have? A minute and 8 seconds? A minute? It's okay. We were having Arista Cox on the show. We had her on for many years, and all of a sudden, I guess now with the whole Zoom thing, they had said, "Oh, well, it's a Zoom tour, so basically you have to sit and be on camera." And I said, "Can you just have her dial a phone? Like, she's called in from her cell phone. Like, we've had many conversations before." And they're like, "No, it's only Zoom." And then they go and then they cancel on us. And so we had hyped this up, Arista Cox is coming back on the show, send any questions. And because I guess I was being difficult, they were like, you know what, we're actually canceling the tour. Come to find out, this is the great thing about social media, was that she ended up doing the media blitz. I should actually look at Julie Chen. Maybe they just canceled on us, those assholes. I want to find out if anybody else talked to her on Thursday, because if we were the only ones that didn't, I'm taking that personally, and I will fuck with them, let me tell you. No, but Aristocrat, they Global, the television network, canceled our thing because I'd said, like, she can't dial in on a phone. Like, really? And I did. I raised a bit of hell. And we've never done another Global interview since. We banished them. Send me an email. Tell me your thoughts on Big Brother. live@jbonair.com.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer. Save the money, save the hassles, and get the better blue pill. Dial 800-578-0179. That's 800-578-0179. 800-578-0179.
This statement has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt, your shoulder hurts, and your back. Oh my God, your back. They're constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore, am I right? Well, here is something you haven't tried. Pain Absolve. Pain Absolve is not available in any drugstore. The only way to get it is by calling today. We're so confident that it will work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription needed, and best of all, each purchase comes with a money-back guarantee. Call now to find out how you can get Pain Absolve and get rid of your pain. Call 800-319-0582. That's 800-319-0582. 800-319-0582. Call today, 800-319-0582.
Jeremy Bradley here, back on the Scribble. One of the other big stories making headlines this week is the writer's strike, and the actor strike, all the strikes in Hollywood. Those have been making headlines for weeks, maybe even months. And I think at the very beginning, it was kind of like, oh, this is a big deal. Hollywood is shut down. Does the public care anymore? Does the public care at this point? I don't know. And we've heard about, and I've being an entertainment reporter every morning on the radio, I do a quick 3-minute segment of the latest stories. And something that we reported on Thursday was that Billy Porter, the fanglamulous Billy Porter, is basically saying that he's had to sell his house. He says, I have to sell my house. I don't know when we're going to go back to work. The life of an artist, until you make fuck you money, which I haven't made yet, is still check to check. So here's what's interesting, right? Now, let me just... Billy Porter is larger than life with everything, right? The awards shows, this and that, the glamorous life. So for Billy to be pleading poverty, is this pulling back the curtain, though, of Hollywood? Do you see where I'm going here? Is that you present one image, you're this star, darling, I'm this star on the red carpet, and then I can't afford my house. So here's what I'm thinking, is either you're living beyond your means. Oh, how crazy would that be, right? For somebody to all of a sudden make it big in Hollywood right off the bat and then go and buy the $1 million mansion and all these things. But is that either your own money mismanagement? Because you have to realize that the I was going to say the crux. The matter at hand with the writer strike is that they want to go and say, well, the contracts that we have are so outdated, so archaic, so old, that they were done before all the streaming services took over, and the writers aren't getting the residuals and royalties and all this other stuff that our shows are living on, but we're not getting the money from it. So let me flip this around then and talk about it another way. If you've had a job where you if you wrote for, I was a corporate copywriter for many years. Let's say that you work in a marketing department. You work at McDonald's and you came up with the I'm loving it thing. That would, if you were to draw the comparison, because I worked in the marketing department at McDonald's and I came up with I'm loving it, I should be getting paid in perpetuity for as long as McDonald's is using that slogan. That's not how marketing works, though, right? You're paid to do the job, and that's it. So when I wrote press releases or I wrote blogs or whatever I wrote years ago for companies, that would be like me going and saying, well, I still need a cut of every click on that story that I wrote. I still need and that's just not how a regular writer's job works. So, and now I'm part of a writers union, so this is where it's sort of strange that I can go and, criticize these people, but I'm criticizing the ones that are coming forward and saying, I can't afford my house. Well, that's maybe also on you for not having a manager who negotiates better contracts. Billy Porter is not from 10, 20, 25 years ago when all of these things went down. Billy Porter is very relatively new on the scene. Billy Porter's only been around for a few years as a household name. So streaming has been around since then as well. So this is one of those things where you kind of look at that and go, okay, Billy, but then, this one image that you're portraying of being a fashionista, whatever. Well, if you can't afford shit, then okay. So now Hollywood is exposed for making it look like one thing. You almost want to go and say this is like an influencer's lifestyle, right? All these influencers on social media who go and travel the world and have all this glamorous life, and then they're really, depressed and eating chocolates, and when you look at them unfiltered, their face is like, holy shit, they look mangled. So, I guess I am criticizing Billy specifically because don't show us that you're this big, rich and famous celebrity and hobnobbing and living the high life and traveling the world, and now you can't afford your house. Like, either that's money mismanagement or living beyond your means. That's on you. That's not on the industry. That's squarely on you. And so back to that point I made about writers, that would be, just think about any job that you've done. If you built, I don't even know, like if the only one that I can give the example is, I wrote a press release. I wrote a blog for a company. Am I supposed to be billing them? Should that company be sending me checks for every time that somebody's read that post now? Like that's the equal comparison to just a regular everyday writer at a business versus a Hollywood writer. Who's to... So just because, your TV show is still being shown 20, 30 years later, okay, great. But it's also not your show. Now, it's different if you've written a book and it's still selling all these years later. Yes, you get the royalties. You get, it's your book. You own it. But just because the TV show that you wrote for, you were paid to do that work in that moment for that week or that season or whatever it was. And that's it. That's it. So you can have all of the rest of Hollywood jumping to support the writers and whatever, but look at it that way. Look, when you flip it around and go and say, why should they continue to be paid for years and 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 years for this one TV show just because it's making the rounds again on another platform? Well, no different than, a corporate copywriter who wrote, or any sort of columnist, a New York Times reporter. Look at when you leave that job or you're fired or whatever it is, they don't go and wipe out all of your stories and your posts and everything. No, they keep that for the content. So should they be sending, writer ABC? Oh, well, that would be never ending then at that point. So tell me your thoughts, if you even have an opinion, because, I'm in the entertainment circle and in the Hollywood circle, so I know people from within the industry how they feel about it. But tell me, if you just the average, couch surfer at home watching TV or movies, do you give a bloody fuck about the strike? Or do you just think that it's millionaire Hollywood having a pity party for itself? Send me an email. Tell me your thoughts. live@jbonair.com. live@jbonair.com.
Isn't it crazy that you wait for payday, but before you know it, you're strapped for cash again? It's time to stop blowing your money and become a smart spender with the book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate, at cheapskatebook.com. Learn simple ways to cut costs at home every day and during special times of the year. Don't go broke at Christmas. Don't remortgage the house for a fancy vacation. The book is filled with tips to save you money throughout the year. Check out the best-selling book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate, at cheapskatebook.com or on Amazon and iTunes.
It's never too early to start thinking about your next holiday. Have you checked out Mexico recently? From tequila tasting, swimming with horses, to ziplining through the jungle and watching whales and dolphins in their natural habitat, Puerto Vallarta has it all. Visit mexico.jbonair.com to see all the fun PV has to offer. That's at mexico.jbonair.com for hundreds of photos, interviews, and videos from around the tourist hotspot. Check out mexico.jbonair.com for all the fun. That's mexico.jbonair.com.
Jeremy Bradley here on The Scribble. It seems like we're just talking about the Hollywood stories that have made headlines this week, and one of them that we discussed on the Entertainment Wrap-Up, our entertainment headline show, is Wayne Brady's pansexuality. He came out in People Magazine. Did you come out? I don't even know. People Magazine, anyway. He had a story that says, I am pansexual. To me, pan means being able to be attracted to anyone who identifies as gay, straight, bi, transsexual, or binary, non-binary. Being able to be attracted across the board. And I think, at least for me, for right now, that is the proper place. Now, my speculation, as a homosexual, is that he's prepping us to see him being in a relationship with a man. Now, he's had 2 failed marriages to women, and that's my cynicism, my skepticism, whatever the word is. That's just, we're going to be seeing Wayne Brady appearing at events or in public with a man, is what I'm thinking. He's going to be in a relationship with a man. Now, there's no problem with that. Hello. I mean, I always found him attractive back in the day. Now, I mean, I think that why this needs a story in People Magazine, though, is kind of the weird thing. Now, about my cousin, full disclosure here, my cousin has since passed away, but my cousin came to me a few years ago. We were taping a radio show, and I, for some reason, had my phone in front of me. I don't normally, but I guess I either, referenced an email or something, so I had it with me. And I got the notification from him. Now, this is a cousin that I wasn't super close with. I, would have a conversation with him at family get-togethers, but I certainly wasn't, texting back and forth or anything like that. So he had messaged me on Facebook. And when you get a message from somebody that you don't normally hear from, it kind of makes you like, uh-oh, what does he want? What does she? Well, that's weird that he's... And that's sort of how I felt. I'm like, I'm getting a message from this relative that I've really never had, a full conversation with in my life, ever. And so it was strange to me that he was messaging me. And naturally then I was just like dying to find out what this was, but we were in the middle of taping something. So I kind of excused myself quickly, and I was like, let me read what is this thing that he's saying. And so he wanted my advice. He came out to me as being pansexual. Now, this cousin was married and had a young son at the time, and I was kind of like, okay, well, whatever. And like I said, I didn't even really know what pan means at the time, and I still don't, aside from Wayne's example or the definition that I just read. And so I said to him, well, are you leaving your wife? Are you, like, what's happening? Like, why does the family need to know this? And so even in Wayne's thing, it's like being attracted to anyone so it means being attracted to a human being, really, is what it is, who identifies as gay, straight, bi, and the fact that he says transsexual, isn't it transgender now? But anyway, so to me, it didn't make sense why my cousin is like outing himself to me and why he wants the family to know this, whatever. And I said, if this is strictly sexual, that it's what you're sexually attracted to, it's a bedroom thing, it's a behind closed doors thing, I don't think the family's going to care. I mean, we're a close family, but we are not that close that we want to know that kind of shit. Sorry. And even, I mean, I've got the hottest husband in the world, and you can ask any of my family members that. I'm the one who's married to the Brazilian tattooed, tanned, buff fitness model. If anybody wants to know about a sex life, it's going to be people about my relationship. Because I'm gorgeous as it is too, perfect skin and all. But I just said, like, this is something about your sex life. Like, this is about you, whatever. And then even my cousin, this is something that you don't have conversations with, I don't think, with your family. He said something about, well, sometimes you just want to suck a dick. And I was like, again, why do I need to hear that from, like, I don't know, like, it was icky. I felt very weird about it. So being, and this is what's strange, is that everybody just thinks because you're gay, well, I'll come out, let me just say I'm the pansexual, going to come out to my gay cousin. It's like, I've got nothing, that has nothing to do with me. Like when Bruce Jenner announced that he was going to be transitioning, all of a sudden, a bunch of radio stations that I've been an entertainment reporter for were coming to me going, asking me like my take on the Bruce Jenner thing. And I said, I'm not trans. So why, like, what does my opinion matter over somebody else? If he's transitioning to become a woman, ask a woman then. I mean, that would be the closest comparison. Ask another trans person. Ask a trans person or ask a woman. But as a gay man, so it's kind of weird how people draw that conclusion that because you're part of the alphabet, LGBT, blah, 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 that you can relate to, that you can connect. And I'm just like, no, it doesn't work that way. G for gay is one thing. T is something completely different. We're not, I mean, look at Dylan Mulvaney. Dylan was a gay man and then a trans woman and now a lesbian. My gay is forever. My gay is gay. I'm gay before you were changing it every 6 months. And so with Wayne, I just questioned, like, why did we need a major story in People magazine? There's so much focus. And I know, who was the rapper? Somebody just got in trouble for having their kid on a Instagram live or something, asking about, are you gay or what's, it's like, that's just so weird to be asking a 5 or 6 year old that, or 4 however old the kid was. I mean, let's teach them about learning English. I mean, I was so, I was an English major, I'm a journalist and whatever. Like, the fact that kids are graduating high school not knowing how to spell basic words just drives me crazy. Really, it's maddening. So let's focus on teaching kids stuff. I want them to know basic, like trigonometry and Shakespeare and crap like that. Okay, fine. I give that a pass. I don't want, that's a waste of time. Really. Aside from certain careers, how often have you used trigonometry? Now, the math nerds will probably come at me and go, well, haven't you ever da-da-da-da? That's trigonometry. You know what I mean, though. How often has somebody quoted Shakespeare and got that far in life outside of being a contestant on Jeopardy or something? Really. So congratulations, Wayne Brady. You opened up, I guess, about your sex life or your sexuality. But why? Okay, great. You're attracted to anything with a pulse. And again, let me just read that. I am pansexual. To me, pan means being able to be attracted to anyone who identifies as gay, straight, bi, transsexual, or non-binary. That's a human being, then. Here's the thing. I can be attracted to, Beyonce. I can say Beyonce. I'm attracted to Beyonce. Would I want to screw her? No. But I can be attracted to her. Right? Yes, I can find her attractive, but I can be attracted to her. Doesn't mean I want to have sex with her. To me, pan means being able to be attracted to anyone who identifies, being able to be attracted to anyone. Anybody is able of being attracted. You can look at a woman and go, I've never really found women to be, sexy or whatever before, but she's sexy. Okay. That's right. Am I totally not getting this? Now, again, this is where the mob is going to unload on me that I'm anti-trans, I'm anti-pan, fuck off. I don't even play that game. I'm not doing that. I'm one of those people. Megyn Kelly, I've referenced her, I think, a couple times on the show in recent weeks. She's, I don't want to say she's my hero, but she's just one of these people where it's like, I'm just sick of it. I'm not bowing down just because you want to be called a man, woman, whatever. You don't force me to call you that just because you want to be called that. That is not how this world works. I remember being a kid and somebody getting offended because there was that whole Miss and Ms. thing, right? That if there was Miss, Ms., and Mrs. And if you didn't get the right one as a boy, it was like, and that's Ms. I never understood the difference. I never did. But I just remember that being like, oh shit, that's really like touchy and kind of lame. That's going to set you over the edge. That's going to set you off. That I didn't call you Ms. Smith. Again, fuck off. Send me an email. Do you think it's necessary for somebody like Wayne Brady to do a story in People magazine about being pansexual? Is this news? Is it? Now, again, like I said, it was news for us on the radio platform and entertainment because it was made news. We didn't tell the story making it news. We told the story because it was already news. I just want to be clear on that one before anybody calls me a hypocrite. Well, you were talking about Wayne Brady. Right, because it was in the news. That's our entertainment headline show is we're talking about the entertainment headlines. What is in the news? That's why we talked about him. See what I'm saying? All right. Send me an email live@jbonair.com, live@jbonair.com.
Ever had something to get off your chest but never had the balls to say it? That's a load of crap. Speak Free with JB.com is exactly what you've been waiting for. Your chance to tell it like it is and not care what anybody else thinks. Have your say on issues of the day. Join newspaper and radio columnist Jeremy Bradley as he tells it like it is. Hundreds of thousands of people have stopped by, including some well-known celebrities who have had a chat with JB and speak candidly about what's really going on in the world. You can join them too. Have a rant or a rave. Be brave and head on over to www.speakfreewithjb.com now.
We hear you chirping. Get scribbling. Tweet up the scribble at The Scribble Show. Join the discussion with Jeremy Bradley. It's all going down right now on Twitter at The Scribble Show and at thescribbleshow.com.
That is it, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's always awesome hearing from you, so feel free to send me your thoughts live. Now my tongue and my mouth are falling apart after 30 minutes of talking, but send me an email live at jbonair.com, live at jbonair.com. Maybe Julie Chen will be joining us next week. No, I already know that she's not, so don't get your hopes up. We'll let you know, though, when she's back on the radio with us. My name is Jeremy Bradley. This is The Scribble. Talk to you next week. Bye for now.
Want more Scribble? Check out thescribbleshow.com for past shows, celebrity interviews, cheapskate tips, and more. That's at thescribbleshow.com and on Twitter at The Scribble Show. The Scribble is a speak-free media presentation.
If you want some